ABC 10 News at 11 starts now.
Crowds reclaiming St. Patrick's Day in downtown San Diego. The pandemic shut down bars and restaurants last March, but this St. Patrick's Day, restaurants got the green light to reopen for limited indoor dining. Good evening. Thank you for joining us on this St. Patty's Day. I'm Kimberly Hunt.
And I'm Steve Atkinson. Our ABC 10 News reporter Anthony Pura is in the Gaslamp Quarter with the crowds that turned out after the county moved back into that red tier.
I spoke with the co-owner of an Irish pub, and he says they weren't sure what type of crowd to expect on St. Patty's Day. They were a little surprised by the turnout. This was the Gaslamp Quarter Wednesday evening, many wearing green out on St. Patrick's Day. San Diego County has entered the red tier of coronavirus restrictions, allowing restaurants to reopen their indoor dining areas to 25% capacity or 100 people, whichever is fewer. That on top of the outdoor seating on parklets and patios. Outside the Field, dozens of people waited in line for service at the Irish pub and restaurant.
Probably been here about 35 minutes now.
The staff said they were making sure there was a lot of space between their customers inside, and many of their tables had barriers between them. At the Stout Public House a few blocks away, this is what it looked like when we dropped by a little after 6.
We have a doorman, so he's regulating everything. So yeah, if it's too busy, they'll be put away and asked to stay for a while and get in line. It's a very big place. It's got very high ceilings, so there wouldn't be any issues there. Only issue would be, it was hard to get staff back.
Mark Prendergast is co-owner of the Irish pub. He says it's obviously more business than they got on St. Patrick's Day last year when the pandemic forced them to close, but he says it doesn't compare to a normal year.
It would always be a lot busier. This would be we're probably at half, a quarter maybe. We usually be gangbusters day and night. So this would be a lot quieter, but it's great, we'll take it.
Anthony Pura, ABC 10 News.
Gyms can also reopen indoors at 10% capacity. 24-hour Fitness Balboa in Kearney Mesa. They were ready to welcome people back today. Gyms can bump up to 25% capacity when we eventually hit that orange tier.
Disneyland and California Adventure will finally reopen on April 30th. Disney made that announcement today. The parks will be limited to 15% capacity and indoor rides will stay closed. All visitors 3 and up will require a reservation, and events that draw crowds such as parades will be off limits for now. Also, there will be no indoor dining. The parks have been shut down since last March 14th, and downtown Disney reopened in July.
The county reported 411 new cases today. The test positivity rate is now at 3%. 8 more people, though, they have lost their lives to COVID, bringing that number to just under 3,500. As more businesses start to welcome customers back indoors, health officials hope that we don't rush into things recklessly. One of the many concerns are spring breakers traveling to less restrictive cities and bringing the virus home. Other concerns are vaccine hesitancy and the presence of the more contagious UK variant found here in San Diego. Doctors we spoke with said getting vaccinated was the top priority.
Getting vaccinated is the most important thing. I think what's unknown is what might happen in the future, what new variants might pop up, what variants might reach their way to California.
Doctors say the vaccine is effective against that UK variant, and companies are now working on boosters that will cover the other variants.
Even for people who haven't had the coronavirus, the pandemic has taken a toll on mental health. We spoke with a psychologist today who says her clinic has been full. Patients have been suffering from stress, anxiety, and depression, but there are things we can do to help heal.
It's really starting to re-engage in our lives as we would if we weren't feeling anxious or worried or scared.
Dr. Stoddard also says it's important to have compassion for yourself and find a sense of community.
Tonight, Georgia investigators say the man charged with the murder in the killing of 8 people, including 6 Asian American women, at 3 Atlanta spas is now talking to them. ABC's Zareen Shah reports on the efforts to determine a motive.
21-year-old Robert Aaron Long, accused of murdering 8 people in Atlanta, is talking to officials tonight, according to Georgia investigators. 6 women he's accused of killing at 3 different spas are Asian, and police say if they hadn't caught him, he planned to kill workers at similar Florida businesses.
Some guy came in and took the gun, so everybody heard the gunshot.
Long was seen in this surveillance footage Tuesday afternoon outside this spa in the suburbs. Police say he went in shooting 4 dead. This woman's uncle was shot outside the business and survived.
He was coming out of the store and he was outside.
He then targeted a second and third spa, police trailing behind him each time.
We need to make sure if we have any Asian spas, we need to be checking on them.
By that time, Long's parents called police, identifying him. Police quickly tracking his cell phone, running Long's black SUV off the road and arresting him. Investigators believe the killings were not racial, but about violence against women.
He apparently has an issue, what he considers a sex addiction, and sees these locations as something that allows him to go to these places, and it's a temptation for him that he wanted to eliminate.
Concern among the Asian American community. They believe the killings are connected to recent assaults.
I feel like I keep reading about it now every few days about an Asian American getting assaulted or harassed or someone in the hospital.
In 2020, hate crimes against Asian Americans spiked around 150% in the 16 largest American cities, according to Cal State University researchers. President Biden showing his support.
Whatever the motivation here, I know that Asian Americans are very concerned.
Long was expected to appear in court for the first time Thursday, but that appearance has been canceled at the moment. Zoreen Shah, ABC News, Los Angeles.
San Diegans are sending a message of solidarity to the Asian Pacific Islander community after the shootings in Georgia. Tonight, they held a gathering at Seaport Village, lighting candles and holding a moment of silence for the people who were killed. A community organizer says it's important for the API community to know that their fear and anxiety about the growing violence against them are being heard.
Just coming out here and lighting candles and having some moments of silence, really sending out those good vibes and that positivity to them so that they know, that we're here for them.
They're also calling for elected officials to push through legislation that stands up for everyone.
This professor's commentary is outright offensive.
A faculty member at the University of San Diego School of Law is now under investigation tonight for allegedly sharing a blog using offensive language, referring to people from China. Our ABC 10 News reporter Laura Azevedo spoke to current and former law students who say this person has made problematic comments in the past.
Students tell me the faculty member is a professor that they say they have formally complained about several times in the last year. The most recent blog post, they say, was made last week. This was the letter sent to law students at the University of San Diego Wednesday afternoon, confirming a faculty member is under investigation for a blog post. The letter, signed by the Dean of Law on campus, states the post made by an unidentified faculty member was concerning the origin of COVID-19, using offensive language in reference to people from China. The dean saying the blog is not hosted by the university, but saying these forms of bias, wherever they occur, have an adverse impact on our community.
They are beyond hurt. They want an apology. They want our institution to do more than give another statement of solidarity. We want action.
Students have identified the teacher, but ABC 10 News is not naming him since school officials have not confirmed his identity. Robert Ponce is the president of USD's Student Bar Association. Ponce says students have complained about this professor several times before.
This was not something that was surprising to anybody within our student community. We have been aware of, blog posts that this professor has posted over the course of years.
When asked for comment, a university spokesperson sent ABC 10 News excerpts from the letter sent to students, saying they've received formal complaints relating to the faculty member's conduct, saying there will be a process to review whether university or law school policies have been violated.
Another letter of solidarity is not sufficient without accompanying disciplinary action against this professor.
We've reached out to the professor students say is behind the blog, but so far have not heard back. Laura Acevedo, ABC 10 News.
Severe storms in the southeast are leaving behind significant damage as they move east. Dozens of tornadoes have reportedly touched down in Alabama, where much of the damage has hit. It saw trees uprooted, windows broken, cars and roofs damaged. Videos show students at the University of Alabama packed into a parking garage on campus in order to take shelter. All across the Southeast, residents have been warned to prepare for this storm and its potential for more tornadoes overnight.
The names of 4 Los Angeles Sheriff's deputies accused of sharing unauthorized pictures of the Kobe Bryant helicopter crash have now been released. Bryant's widow, Vanessa, is suing the sheriffs and the fire departments over the picture being shared. Today, the 4 deputies were added by name to that lawsuit. Bryant says a firefighter took the pictures, then sent them to others who spread them to other firefighters and deputies. The departments tried to stop the names from being released. They argued it puts their deputies' families at risk.
San Diego Unified now has a policy for families to watch their children play school sports. Fans will only be allowed at outdoor competitions. Each student athlete can only have up to 4 people there to watch, and they have to be from that child's immediate household. Concessions and food trucks will not be allowed. And for all those not going, the games will be streamed online for free.